know the issues. We know about energy. We know about the border. We know Joe Biden doesn't know what he's doing. We know all that. We get all that. But why do this? Why do this here tonight with Legacy PAC? Because there's a whole lot of people who have the passion to save this country who need help getting off the ground.
The purpose of Legacy PAC is to save America. That's our mission. That's what we really want to do because America's worth saving.
I am by trade, I'm a cybersecurity engineer. Okay, so this is my first run in politics. We need more conservative Republicans standing up and fighting for the Constitution.
We're an America First PAC, and we want to promote and help our up-and-coming candidates, and we're going to be holding the line for President Trump.
I joined the Army at 17 years old. My first day at my first unit, which was 25th Infantry, was September 10th, 2001. So the next day was 9/11. And I spent about a total of a decade between Iraq and Afghanistan in country. So my country means everything to me. When I realized that if people like myself who don't want to be politicians don't start stepping up and taking these seats, that nothing's going to change, then I said, okay, I'll do it.
Who deserves to lead the people of this country more than those who serve this country? So I'm behind every one of them. So let's make sure we get more veterans into power. I'm all for it.
Remember why you're involved. We have to make sure people remain humble and not engage in self-glorification. You are here for one reason, and that is to save the country. Period. End of story.
And for those candidates who are looking uphill and wondering how, keep your head down, focus on the target, and outwork everybody. And I promise you, you're not gonna lose. You're either gonna win on election night or you change the game on election night. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much, Legacy PAC.
Thank you, Legacy PAC.
And Stan, where's Stan? Stan is with Veterans for Trump.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you all. We're honored. I know there are so many organizations represented here today.
You're sitting here too much. But you're going to do very well. And I just had somebody write down, first of all, James and Sarah Pritchard, thank you very much. Yes. Great job. Thank you. We appreciate all the help. Stanley and Donna Fitzgerald.
Right here, sir.
Thank you very much. It's great. It's great that you're with us. Mike Acton.
Hi, this is Stan Fitzgerald, Veterans for Trump and Legacy PAC. I'm here with our VFAF ambassador, Cat Corrigan. How are you today, Kate?
I'm great. How are you, Stan?
Good, thank you. So Kate just got back from a mission to Israel where our veterans organization was part of that trip. And that trip was to focus on fighting PTSD and border security. So Kate, can you talk a little bit about both those topics here and explain what we were doing and what you learned?
Yes, definitely. So we have a major issue in the United States in regards to national security regarding our border. Under the Joe Biden administration, we've had over 2 million illegals cross our southern border, causing a major humanitarian crisis. And in addition to that, we have countless veterans, mostly combat veterans, that struggle with PTSD. And for quite some time, there's been some members of Congress, former Congressman Lee Zeldin from New York actually introduced legislation to help support veterans who struggle with PTSD in the United States, with legislation that was working with the Israeli government in research on supporting not only American veterans with PTSD, but also Israeli veterans. And unfortunately, this legislation never was passed. It would basically provide a grant for research to be conducted using technology that the Israeli government has to help support veterans with PTSD, specifically with supporting them in returning back to civilian life. And so our mission when we went to Israel, we had a slew of meetings basically focused on learning how we can better support veterans here at home in the United States that struggle with PTSD, as well as working on a partnership, strengthening relations that we have with Israel in creating a partnership and perhaps even a program that would support veterans in Israel and in the United States struggling with PTSD.
Well, that is definitely something that our organization, which you're part of, would like to promote and put out there. And hopefully with some of the next cycle of congressional candidates, we'll have some people to pitch this concept that failed previously with Lee Zeldin. Kate, our border is a disaster, and our organization with yourself will be going out there again in the near future. But what can you tell the public about the Israeli border and how that compares to American? What could we learn?
Definitely. Well, one thing that we do not have that the Israeli military has is they have a secure border. There have been no illegal crossings into their border. I went to the Gaza Strip and looked into the Hamas tunnels and spent time exploring their border. And I felt safe when I was there. And I was there with you, Stan, on our southern border. And I did not feel safe on our southern border with illegals coming into our country, with the drug crisis that we have, the humanitarian crisis we have, the sex trafficking crisis that we have on our southern border, which none of that exists over in Israel. The big difference between the border in Israel and the Gaza Strip and our southern border is that they have 24/7 security. They have military soldiers guarding their border. They have a long border wall that is over 6 meters wide, and it crosses the entire border. There's no gaping holes. There's no way for people to easily just walk across their border at all, like we have on our southern border.
Well, America has a lot to learn from Israel, and from what I understand, they're a country about the size of New Jersey, and they are a world power, and they defend themselves from massive amounts of Arab enemies that would like to destroy them. So, Kate, thank you for taking that trip to Israel and bringing us up to speed. And we'll be getting your press release out about it soon, and we'll talk again in the near future.
Thank you, Stan.
Okay, thanks, Kate.